So at one point, all our lounges, were closed. I think 90% of all our lounges were closed, and it was tough. However, we can see a pickup. We have seen in different locations pickups. There is a certain level of confidence, and we believe that it will. You know what, I think the term would be cautiously optimistic. Yeah, I can see the trajectory is positive. However, it will take time, and the way I see it is I think that essential travel will continue to be first. This would be then followed by leisure travel. I think leisure travel would see the affluent segment go first, and then you'd see the bleisure. People who combine business and leisure together and travel. And then lastly, I would say it would be very much on business travel. I think business travel is a tricky one though, because I think in the last 12 to 24 months, we have now been very comfortable with Teams, Zoom meetings, and it's just made live meetings so much easier. However, I think because of that, there is a lot of value, and we can all see a lot of value to face-to-face interaction. And I think it's a matter of time, it will pick up. So I would say that domestic and regional travel will pick up first, and then international travel will take a bit of time, but I'm cautiously optimistic is the term I'd like to use.
What kind of rethink did that encourage around your business model?
So I'd like to think that our goalpost stays the same. So our vision is to be the household name of airport hospitality services. Our vision is to make travel better. That has not changed. What has changed is reviewing our strategy. There's so much uncertainty in the market, right? Our goal is to build 500 lounges by 2025. Currently we are at 180, but we are in the right direction. We have multiple projects, so we hope to build more Plaza Premium lounges, plus working with partners to also build out the lounge proposition to make travel better.
And what propositions do you see being some key growth drivers? Back in 2019, your father spoke of doubling headcount at PPG, which at the time market share stood at about 5%. So in order to continue that footprint growing for PPG, what is the key growth driver?
Our strategy is putting three things in the forefront. One is innovation, the second is digitalization, and the third is our people. Those are the three things we're focusing on to grow the company. These are fundamental and very, very important. We're looking at how we can streamline processes, we can digitalize the whole process, and we're also building our people network. I don't do this alone. We don't do this alone. There's a whole team that is behind this, but also building out a team which is global, which is diverse, which has strong perspectives and experience. This is very, very important for us.
Expanding headcount, building out your talent pipeline, those are key factors, as are investments. $100 million was allocated towards PPG's global expansion. Half of that was earmarked for China, with plans to expand into 10 cities. What's the progress for PPG on the mainland? What are the biggest trends you're seeing driving travel in China?
China is a very exciting market. Every time I go, I'm excited because it's constantly growing. I'm constantly being surprised. Just to put it into context, right? There's 1.4 billion people who live in China, of which 10% have passports, and there's high growth. There's a lot of potential there. There's a Chinese saying called 海陆空, so land, sea, and air. We have really been focusing our attention on the airport space. However, we can see, and for many decades, travel has taken place in trains as well, train stations as well.
So from planes to trains.
Yeah, and next would be sea. But we can see that the high-speed railway is one of the key strategies for the country to connect. Right? And business travelers like yourself, like myself, we are traveling by train as well. So we have not only looked at the airport space, so we have our airport hotels, but we've also been putting a lot of effort studying the high-speed railway connecting points and building lounges there.
Mei Mei, the U.S. is a relatively new market for the Plaza Premium Group. Dallas Fort Worth, the lounge there, that's a toehold for the group in 2020. What's the playbook for U.S. expansion? There's been talk of places like Denver, Tier 1 cities.
So U.S., we have been circling U.S. for many, many years. I mean, we have projects in Brazil, we have projects in Canada, and we have in London, Europe. This is an important market for us. It's a very key market. It is by far the biggest aviation market in the world.
And a mature market at that.
Yes. But you'll also see, right? I mean, our earlier growth was really, really aligned with the development of the aviation industry. If you follow our growth path, we're opening alongside new terminals and new airports. I think the US market, when traffic picks up, we will hit a capacity. We will have a capacity issue. And you will see a lot of renovation development work take place, even in your big key airports, San Francisco, LAX, New York. This will be key. So what we plan and we have in the pipeline is working together with our partners. This includes Capital One. This includes Virgin Atlantic. This includes Air France. We will build out a lounge proposition in the US. And we will also be working to enhance the overall airport experience with the introduction of Plaza Premium lounge there.
So Mei Mei, your father began the Plaza Premium story back in 1998, steering the group through the Asian financial crisis and the SARS outbreak alongside your mother, Linda. Now it's COVID that is testing PPG, but this time around, it's you and your brother who are also involved in the discussions about the future for the company as well as the broader industry. How are you sharing responsibilities as a family?
So we are a very close-knit family, and I think we are very clear on each other's strengths. Business for us is that's all we know. This is, we grew up with it. There's a lot of risk that you have to take, but there's also a lot of sacrifice, and it takes a lot of hard work. And that inquisitive nature of my parents to constantly look beyond, look at everyday things and go, okay, how do we craft this into the airport space? They've created a great foundation for us, and it's a fantastic opportunity, not only to enhance or make travel better globally through what we do, but also to make an impact. So, when what you do can make an impact to the lives of others, that's something I find very, very rewarding.
In the past, your father has said there was no pressure for his children to stay with the business or to take over. Any talk around succession planning or what's next for Mei Mei Song at PPG?
No pressure. You know what? It is true that, there was never a moment where he was like, hey, you need to join the company, because he wanted to ensure that when I joined the company, I felt comfortable. I felt comfortable in my decision to do so. He was like, the last thing I want is for you to be unhappy. So I'm very committed to building the vision. We have a fantastic foundation. My mom once said, travel should not be a pressure, it should be a pleasure. And I still hold by that.